Yes. Welcome back to another episode of Go Long Live. Yes, we are doing it a little different today. We are going live at nighttime. So this is a little, thing we're changing up, and we're just gonna test the algorithm out. I am exhausted. I just came back from my son's football banquet, and we played kickball, and I kicked their ass. I went 4 for 4. I scored 4 runs, and got my son out. It felt great. But we are live on CoachellaValley.com. We are live on today'scalifornia.com. We are live on today'scanada.com. We are all over the Twitterverse, all over the metaverse, all over the universe. And it's before we get into who our co-host is today, I just want to say real quick that we lost a good one, man. We lost John Salgado, a Tallwood legend, at the age of 37, childhood friend that I grew up with. And if you knew John Salgado, you knew he was a tough New York type of dude, man. And you didn't want to get on his bad side, but if he was on his good side, you was on his great side. But he was tragically murdered in the Bronx, and we just want to say rest in peace, my man, and we love you, man. And there's really no easy way to transition from that, but I got my guy. It's coming full circle today. This guy actually got me started in sports radio. I've been in radio for 13 years. I'm sweating like a pastor, bro. That kickball, we played 5 innings, bro. 5 innings. But Tyler Cantu, you are a legend out here. Everybody knows who you are. But yeah, you got me started in sports radio, man. And just thank you so much, man. And I appreciate you for coming on the show. So let the Valley know what you've been up to.
Man, first of all, thank you for having me, man. It's been too long since me and you got to talk. So, and 4 for 4, dude. Would you bury Ichiro in kickball,
bro? Barry Betts.
Barry Betts the second, man. But I'm good, man. It's been I feel like I'm in my 20s again, man. I haven't been on air with you since I was in my 20s at least.
We was at Team 1010, man. We did the high school, the local show, man.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. It feels like old times, but I'm now in Northern California right now.
Up in the Bay.
Huh?
Up in the Bay Area.
Kind of. More so inwards. I'm like 2 hours from the Bay. I'm in like the mountains, like the Sierra Nevadas, man.
So you're not going to run into Jimmy G at the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
hey, I got to show you this real quick.
Show me. What's up?
The Blackhawks.
Repping.
Yeah, my daughter goes to La Quinta High School. Then I got another daughter at John Glenn. And I got a son that goes to Amelia. So we are all La Quinta all day. And you're a La Quinta legend.
Okay, good, man. Yeah, I still follow La Quinta High School, man. And, I'm sorry for your loss, too, man. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll just throw in, too, I know I just lost someone who is actually more of a legend in the Valley than at least I can say for me. Woody Germany, my best friend Alex Germany's dad, he was our coach in Pee Wee's. He coached at Palm Desert High School for a long time. He's held numerous football camps down the Valley. He's coached, I mean, if you really count it, it's got to be over 1,000 boys, man. And I mean, just the impact he's had on the Valley, especially in youth sports, is insurmountable. And we lost him last week. He battled cancer for a long time. And Woody, it's just like him, man. This guy got diagnosed with cancer, and they gave him a 3 to 6 month diagnosis, prognosis or whatever it is to live. And he lasted 5 years, man. That's who Woody was. And just a great man. And the Valley lost a good one. And I just want to say shout out to Alex and his family and everybody that knew Woody and was close to Woody, man, because that's a lot of people in the Valley. It's
a lot of people that he impacted. You said 1,000 boys. I mean, good God, think about all the stories
and he was on Team 1010. He co-hosted a show on there for a while too, man. So he did sports radio as well. He was a voice. He did a lot of things in the Valley, man. And if you got the pleasure to sit down with him for a long time, one of the smartest football minds ever. And I don't just mean, in the Valley. I mean, if you got to sit down with him, there were times we'd be watching football together and Woody would say to us, "Oh man, watch this guy right here. He's going to get the interception because I can tell the quarterback thinks he's going to run a hook and he's going to run a fade." And, it was crazy. He would break down things and they would happen next. You'd be like, man, this is pre-recorded, right?
Like Tony Romo on the broadcast.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. So I credit knowing anything about sports to that man, basically. So
yeah, you played safety at La Quinta, didn't you?
Yes, and he played safety. So that's the only way I would play that position, man. He taught me how to be that guy, So yeah.
You were a hitter, weren't you? You were a hard hitter.
Yes, that's how I figured out I could play safety. I remember the moment I figured out I could hit hard. It was in JV football, and I hit someone, and I didn't think I hit him that hard. And I got to the sideline, and people were like, "Whoa, what's up, bro?" And I was like, "What
Don't you
happened?
miss that
Who did
feeling?
something good?" And they were like, "You, man, you hit that dude so hard." I was like, "Me? I don't, you know." So it's fun. That's what I love about football. That's why I like all this Niners stuff, man. Football has been a part of my life for basically since I was 8 years old, and now I'm 32 and getting gray, but still loving the sport.
32.
It's
Dang.
crazy, man. We getting old, man.
I'm 35, bro.
I
But
know.
you know, I had that feeling tonight when I was playing kickball. I was like, woo!
Yeah.
No other parents were going as hard as I was going. I beamed a couple kids in the head. You know, it's a kickball, it's soft. But shout out to Coach Key, Coach Lane, Coach Anthony, Coach Shay. I mean, it was like they got like 5 guys on the sidelines, and we ain't talking burgers.
Yeah. That's what's up.
But we're gonna talk football today, man. I got
Let's
you in
talk
here. You a
football,
football
man.
mind, bro. You a great football mind. And I know you are a 49ers fan. So let's talk about that 49ers. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't know you're a 49ers fan? But the 49ers, they were able to beat the Bengals in overtime. And you had a great game by Jimmy G. For all the criticism that Jimmy G has gotten from parts of the fan base, I think Jimmy G is kind of steadying that ship. And whenever it's Trey's time, he'll step in. But Jimmy G threw 296, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. George Kittle, man. George Kittle. Tell us a little bit about how you love George Kittle, because he went 13 catches for 151 yards.
I mean, the people's tight end, man. What's not to love about George Kittle? The guy's a pro wrestler playing football.
He literally is.
And my thought when he made that extended catch to get the first down and that key play for the 49ers in that drive, it was the first thing I thought of was this guy is our playmaker. You go back to our Super Bowl run a couple years back, and in the playoffs against the Saints, we needed a play on 4th down. And not only does he make the catch to get the first down, he breaks 3 tackles and goes 40 yards to get us in field goal position to win the game. This man makes big plays all the time. And if you're a real football savant, you can watch film and know that he makes big plays sometimes that have nothing to do with the football. He'll make a big block.
Yes.
He'll go downfield and set a pick on a route that's perfect for Debo to get right across the field. He does so much that people don't even understand is so helpful to the football team. He sometimes motions out of the way to become a fullback type lead blocker off a wings type formation. There's just so much that Kyle Shanahan can do with a guy like him, and it opens up the offense so much. And you saw it when he's been injured. That's the only downfall of George Kittle, is that he is injury prone. There's no way to really beat around that bush. But when he's off the field, you can see the difference. We're still a good football team on offense. We're not great. You can see Jimmy has lost his safety net when that happens. He doesn't play with the same confidence. But when Kittle's on the field, him and Juszczyk really are the unsung heroes of that offense. When either one of them are out, you notice the difference, man. It's not the same football team.
I love Kyle Juszczyk, but you know who I really love? I love Deebo Samuel, man. Deebo Samuel is he's a Swiss Army knife, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. My man has some thick thighs. Like he's built like a running back. So when they hand him the ball, it's like, man, I mean, he should have probably been a running back.
Well, that's the reason they drafted him so high is, they at first they thought he was a bit of a reach when they first drafted him. But Kyle Shanahan pointed out his versatility, that not only is he going to be used like a wide receiver, but as a running back too. But true to Kyle Shanahan, he did say he was going to play him more at wide receiver at first because that was his position. And he did play more wide receiver his first couple of years. But now with them drafting Brandon Ayuk and other guys emerging in the offense, they're able to move Debo around a little bit and they can make him more of a weapon. And that now you have another aspect of the offense that the defense has to account for is Debo going to run the ball in that fly sweep? And you'll see them use it as a fake a lot because of that. The pistols hike to a fake to Debo, to a fake to Elijah, to a quick pop pass to George Kittle. And they have to account for all 3 of those guys because they're all dangerous right now in the offense. That was the Niners' biggest downfall last year. And it's still been part of the reason they're 7-6 this year is their health concerns. They just lost Dee Ford for the rest of the season for back issues. They've continued to battle these health concerns, but you saw it. Sunday is people like to look at the Bengals like they're not a good football team because
they beat
they're a
us.
good
They beat my
football
Ravens
team.
41-17.
Exactly. Like they're a good football team. Like we're playing good Seattle. People look at Seattle and go, "Well, you lost to a losing football team." Yeah, Seattle has the Niners numbers, and guess what? They've looked great the past 3 weeks. They looked good on Sunday again. So they're playing good football right now, but they play even better when they're completely healthy. And that's always going to be the hurdle they have to get over. And it's unfortunate because it's one that it's really hard to control.
Yeah, we're live on CoachellaValley.com. Shout out to Craig Campbell. We're also live on today'scalifornia.com. This is Tyler Cantu, Coachella Valley legend.
Everybody?
And I'm Barry Long II. You already know. But Tyler, let me ask you this, man. 49er fan, like through and through. And I'm happy that you're closer to the Bay. I wish you would kind of be down here again. But
I know.
Are you a Jimmy G guy or are you a Trey Lance guy right now?
I'm a Jimmy G now guy, a Trey Lance future guy. And what I mean by that is that I'm not going to say that I don't want Trey Lance on the team. I do think he's the future of the 49ers. And the only reason I say that is because Jimmy is injury prone as well. You know, that's been part of his downfall. He missed time this year. He's missed almost an entire season before this. He missed time last year because of his shoulder. He's never played a full season for the 49ers. And the best ability is availability. That's one of the oldest sayings of football.
Hit him with that cliche.
Exactly. But when
for sure,
plays like he does the last couple of weeks, the Niners are at their best. And I don't know if Trey will be able to deliver the same kind of performances. You look at that drive that we lost or against Seattle that we ended up not scoring on. People look at that, and I saw some Niner fans online on both Facebook and Twitter say, oh, look, Jimmy G can't get it done. He didn't make the big throw. And I can't believe that everyone has that short a memory where you forgot that Jimmy just made a great throw out of his own end zone on first down to get us into that play. You forget that the man rushed for 12 yards, and the only reason that first down got called back was because of a holding call. He basically drove 120 yards on that drive and came up 3 yards short. Like, this man is making football plays, and then he made enough plays on Sunday to win the football game against the Bengals. When he plays with this kind of confidence, he is the best option for the 49ers. And if he continues to play that way and can stay healthy, he may be the option next year too. But I do think the contract is what's going to kill him because you're going to play that contract out and you're going to drop him right after that because there's no way you're going to have Trey Lance re-sign after a rookie deal and still have Jimmy G on contract unless that's a regressing contract in the last couple of years for Jimmy, which I just don't think he'd agree to.
Nah,
he's playing good football.
And he's living that high profile lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Jimmy G is, a lot of people say that he's like one of the most attractive guys in the NFL, whatever. He was dating, an adult actress because we're live on Coachella
My girl is a
Valley.com.
Raider fan, and she's like, "Hey, I like Derek Carr, but Jimmy G, she'd rather look at. She'll tell you that straight up."
But look, he's also a great leader, man. When you watch him mic'd up on the sidelines, the way he talks to his receivers, the way he talks to the O-line, it's very Tom Brady-esque, and that's the thing that I really don't like about Aaron Rodgers. And I didn't like about Brett Favre is they weren't that kind of guy that can galvanize the troops and will also help the backup become a better quarterback for the future. Like Brett Favre was like, yo, don't talk to me during timeouts. I'm not going to help you. And Aaron Rodgers is kind of reciprocating that same feeling and paying it forward to Jordan Love, who's not ready also. But yeah, like Jimmy G seems like he has that leadership quality that is that's just undeniable.
I'm so glad you said that, Barry, because I think that's a quality that a lot of people don't give Jimmy enough credit for. Yeah. When you listen to especially George Kittle talk about it, he'll tell you that's my quarterback.
That's his guy. That's my quarterback.
When Jimmy G's playing, and they support Trey. They know that he's a young guy. Nobody wants Trey to fail, but everybody loves Jimmy right now in that locker room, especially when you're winning football games. And you can say, yeah, we're just above 500, but the point is if the season ends of the day, the Niners are at least in the playoffs and they're in the conversation to go to the dance. Now, I have questions about if they can make it there, but the point is they would have the chance to go to the Super Bowl if the season ended the day. Jimmy's put them in that position, and they have a good chance. If you look at all the FPI indexes, before the Vikings game, they were still at an 81%. They dropped greatly after that with the Redskins win and them not taking care of Seattle the way they should have. But there's still above a 50% chance to make the playoffs right now on all indexes. So you give them, if you're a Niners fan, you got to feel good that you're in the driver's seat. You just got to win have a winning record over the last few weeks here, and we're going to the playoffs more than likely.
All right, so let's stay right there in that division. The Rams and the Cardinals. That was it was a pretty good game at the end. Kind of went down to the wire, but at first it didn't seem as close as the score would indicate. But Matt Stafford is coming in, and he's a lot better than Jared Goff. I call him Jared Goffle because he's just god awful.
Yeah, good nickname.
But I mean, he did win a game. He won a game for Dan Campbell, so shout out to him. But Matt Stafford just seems like that guy. Like it's perfect. It's a perfect fit for him. And then when you got a guy like Sony Michel stepping in for Cam Akers, they've gone a couple weeks where they give him like 20 plus carries and they really ride him as the workhorse. But Matt Stafford can get it done. Do you feel like the Rams or the Cardinals are a better team and have a better chance to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's a great question, man. And you know what? If you'd asked me this a week ago, I might have barely leaned towards the Cardinals. Now, a week later with that win, I'm going to barely lean towards the Rams. I will say I'm a guy that has to eat crow on this whole Matthew Stafford situation. When he signed to the Rams, I was one of the guys that said I, as a Niner fan, didn't want him, and maybe I did. I don't know. I mean, I like Jimmy, but man, that guy's playing good football right now. You can't deny it, And it just shows that Sean McVay is a great coach because we at one point thought Jared Goff was an MVP candidate years back, and that was Sean McVay using his abilities the way that he should. And I've always said that's the product of a good coach, that when you take what you have and you know what you have and you use that ability to win football games. That's why Bill Belichick is good. He had a down year last year, and I think there's some figuring out to do, but the fact that he won a game this year throwing the ball three times, that is insane. But that is a coach knowing, hey, I can run the football with this game plan and I can win based off of my defense. That's good coaching. And that's what Sean McVay's done with Matthew Stafford. He's got a guy. He had Jared Goff, who was an average quarterback. He's now got Matthew Stafford, who he's always known has been a good quarterback. We didn't know if he could be great until he had that head coach. And we've seen him with weapons. Well, now he's got the head coach and the weapons. Yes. And we are seeing some amazing football getting played by that guy. Kudos to Matthew Stafford. And if you look at my Twitter feed, you can retweet some stuff that makes me look real bad right now.
You better go back and delete those. Hey, but look, seriously though, Sean McVay is the craziest thing about this guy is he's our age. He's our age, bro.
That's insane, man. Like, right. I mean, the fact it just shows though there is such a trend towards going to young coaches. There's no more of this old timer respect, which it's weird because honestly, I grew up with that. Like I had Coach Armstrong at La Quinta. We've talked about that. Coach Armstrong played in the NFL. We all had respect for him because we knew he was a hard-nosed, old-school guy who had been in the grit and grind, played fullback. We were like, yo, we gonna listen to this guy because
you ask for water, he like drink your spit.
Exactly, man. Like here's the hose, man, and then we'll poke holes in it. Like figure it out, Yeah. Now there's this thing where players no more want to do that, and if as much as some people may not like it, there's a pushback. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. The bottom line is a lot of young coaches are now the guys winning football games. Bill Belichick's still there, but we saw this really start with Mike Tomlin, and it's just been a slow trickle down factor from.
And you look at Cliff Kingsbury doing work. I mean, I know they lost to the Cardinals or to the Rams, but Cliff Kingsbury looking good too, man. And Matt LaFleur, like these guys, these young guys are getting it done. You're absolutely right.
How crazy it's though that Cliff Kingsbury is in the reports right now to go to Oklahoma. What?
He's not.
You're 9-3. You're leading the NFC, and you got like the gall of Oklahoma to be like, we're gonna jack him from the best team in the NFL, possibly.
The closest he's coming to Oklahoma is calling Oklahoma's during practice.
Man, I mean, after what we've seen lately, I'm with you. If you ask me right now, put money on it, I'm gonna say he's staying with the Cardinals. But if he win, I can't even say I'd be that surprised with how wild everything's been lately, man.
I mean, honestly, I don't think he wants to leave Kyler Murray. But if push they come to shove and they throw him enough money, money changes things. But I like Cliff Kingsbury.
This is why me and you work, man. That's exactly said earlier. I was like, money talks. You can always throw enough money.
Yes, sir. He is Tyler Cantu. He is Tyler Cantu, a Coachella Valley legend. And he's joining us today. And I am Barry Long II. We're live on Today's California, live on CoachellaValley.com. Shout out to Craig Campbell and Sage for all the work they do behind the scenes. Now, before we get into a couple more games, let me ask your opinion because I got you, man. I got to ask you just about everything. Like I wish we had longer than 30 minutes. But what do you think about Brian Kelly just up and leaving and going to LSU? Is that a good move? Because he's got to face Alabama. The SEC is tough, but you got to get through Nick Saban.
Yeah, you see that. I feel the opposite of the way I feel about Brian Kelly than I do about
Lincoln Riley
leaving. Because Brian Kelly, I feel like it's an awful move. Like, you're moving to the division that's about to get stronger. When you were at Notre Dame, you could pick who your opponents were, basically, and you could play the top teams that you wanted to, and you could ramroll the teams that you wanted to.
And you're on NBC.
Yeah, I just don't understand them. I understand the move as far as an ego, that you feel like maybe you've gone as far as you can go at Notre Dame, or that you feel like you've accomplished all that you want there. I understand the need for a change, but there were other jobs out there I just feel like may have been better, or even to move up to the NFL could have been. There's a lot of people that were going to look for new head coaches. I mean, Jacksonville might be in the market.
Oh, they in the market. They've already conducted interviews.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, Brian Kelly, I mean, you want the challenge, great. I mean, if you're going to go there, but I don't see anybody dethrone. I don't see Brian Kelly being the guy to dethrone Nick Saban, put it that way. I know that everybody's searching for that guy. There's some potential candidates maybe, because we know Nick Saban can only last so long, but I just don't see Brian Kelly all of a sudden being this recruiting genius that's going to be able to get guys from Baton Rouge to stay there when they can go out of state very close by and play for better football teams.
Absolutely. And you know what? He's already started the recruiting. Like, he went to the LSU basketball game, and all of a sudden he had a Southern accent. Like I know the gumbo is good, but it ain't that good.
Right? Like, that's not
give it a year before you start talking Southern, bro. He was like, "Oh, we're down here." I was like, "Oh, come on."
Gumbo's delicious.
All right, so Lincoln Riley going from Oklahoma to LA to USC. It's a storied college football team, and it just feels nostalgic that we finally have a real good head coach coming to USC. It's not been the same since Pete Carroll left. What are your thoughts on Lincoln Riley?
Like I said, I think this is an unbelievably good move for USC, and I think this is all the chips falling at the same time. A down year for them, in a year that maybe Lincoln Riley was obviously, with reports, upset that Oklahoma was going to have to move to the SEC. And if you're him, why would you want to do that? You were good in the Big 12. You only had, up till this year, he had only lost one game a season, basically. Yeah. He was in the Big 12 championship every single year until this year. And the only reason this year was a down year was probably because in the back of his mind, he knew, well, it doesn't matter. I got to compete in the SEC pretty soon. Now he looks at LA, along with, there's so many moving parts to this. The fact that players can get paid for their likeness now. Ooh. And you're in LA, where you're in a place where you can get marketed very easily.
Be on a billboard?
Use that as a recruiting tool. And Lincoln already has, in the 2023 draft class, the 3 of the top 5 California recruits. He's got the number 1 QB, who is also the number 1 prospect in the nation, the number 1 athlete in California, and the number 1 wide receiver, and is number 5 for all that. I mean, it is unbelievable move for USC. I think it's going to be what they wanted Lane Kiffin to be, a young coach who can be there for years and develop a legacy that Pete, like you said, that we haven't seen since the likeness of Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Pete Carroll was special, man. He was special.
It was great.
And he's special right now. I mean, I know that the Seahawks are not having the best year that they've had. It's been rough. But he had Geno Smith for a couple games. So, like, you can't blame him.
Let's give him a break.
Yeah, but he's on the sideline. He's just dapping up players, man. His energy is just amazing. But his ability to sustain that success over a long period of time, and to identify Russell Wilson as the guy, because remember, they signed Matt Flynn to a big contract, and Matt Flynn,
crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know if he made any of that money, because my man got cut quick as soon as Russell came in.
But he got that signing bonus. I mean, I think he got like $65 million in the 2 signing bonuses he signed. He made so much money to be a backup. Matt Flynn is like the storied backup. They need to make his movie after the Kurt Warner story.
Yes,
the Matt Flynn story.
Are you gonna watch the Kurt Warner movie?
I can't wait. I mean,
me too, bro. Like, I know it's gonna be a little corny. but it's gonna be good.
It's the guy that plays Shazam, you know, in the
Yeah.
DC movie. So it's like that's all I see is he's gonna say Shazam and turn into a superhero in the middle of the movie.
he
But
he
you know,
you go.
yeah, Pete Carroll is. If you were to look at the Seahawks or if you watch any of their football games, you would never guess that they're a 4-8 football team. I mean, the camaraderie that's still there. Russell Wilson is the epitome of a leader right now, you know, and it's just when you have that in the locker room, along with Pete Carroll as the head coach, you have the perfect formula. No one's worried about the Seahawks right now. My grandpa's a huge Seattle fan, and I talked to him, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a down here. We'll be back next year." He's probably right. I mean, that's
he's absolutely right.
Yeah, if Russell Wilson is healthy, they're always going to have a chance. And this is the first year he really hasn't been healthy.
Yeah, and that middle finger, I mean, you know, that's a serious serious finger, you know.
It's a gripping one. For
it
sure.
is not just for flicking people off, like, you know,
No.
you need that.
No, you need that as a quarterback too.
He is Tyler Cantu. I am Barry Long II. This is Go Long Live. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all you guys. And we got a comment. We got a comment from Che Kev, Naomi out there in the Philippines watching. So shout out to her. Shout out to her, man.
Shout out to the Philippines.
Shout out to the Philippines, man. We are global, bro. We are global.
Why?
Now let's talk about this, man. Tyler Cantu. Let's talk about the Packers and the Bears, because we're gonna get to the meme of the day. Let's just do the meme of the day right now, because this is kind of good that I saw. But if you're watching the game, there was a guy on the sidelines that looked exactly like Aaron Rodgers. Well, he looked like an ugly version of Aaron Rodgers, like a rough
Darren Rodgers.
Darren Rodgers, man. Shout out to Frank Caliendo for stealing my joke. I already said that like 10 weeks ago.
Dang.
But you know what? It's such a good joke, man. He's getting credit for it now. But that is literally Darren Rodgers, bro.
Dude, that should be the meme of the day because it's so funny. I love the lookalike thing too. And then is that like the theme of the week for the NFL? Because did you see there was a Bill Burr lookalike too for the Texans?
Yes.
The punter. Yeah, it looked just like Bill Burr.
Man, doppelganger week, right?
It's crazy, man. And you know what? I will say this: if you want to see something crazy, I have always had this idea, and I'll show you a picture. I don't know if I ever have, but one of my best friends, his little brother, looks, and I'm not kidding, exactly like Justin Tucker. Like they are identical twins. And we always wanted to fly him to Baltimore and see if we can't just kind of like dress him up and sneak him in and see if we can't get Justin. So Justin Tucker, if you see this, we want to play a prank on the Baltimore Ravens with my friend's little brother because he's like 2 inches shorter. We'll get some platform boots, but we'll make it happen.
Justin Tucker is he's a gamer, man. He's probably all gun ho for that. Like I guarantee
he would love to play that joke. I would just think it'd be hilarious if he goes out to practice and tries to kick a field goal. And he's awful, and they're like, "What's wrong with Justin?
He can't kick a 26-yarder."
Harbaugh just losing his mind, like we need a kicker. Oh,
Justin, like, take your helmet off, son.
You got COVID or something.
Oh man, did you see the COVID outbreak from the Dallas team this week?
Man,
or the Washington football team, because Dallas had the COVID, and then now Washington football team has like 14 guys on the COVID protocol list. Like, clearly somebody on the Cowboys was playing with COVID and spread it amongst all the players.
Right, and then they went and hung out with the Chicago Bulls apparently. Because man, did you see 75 players have been on COVID protocol this year for the NFL?
Bro, we gotta get a hold on this Omicron. Or how do you say Omicron?
Omicron. Or whatever.
Every time COVID comes out with a new remix, it's like, oh man, it's gonna be
Optimus
worse.
Primacron, you know, like, it's crazy, man.
Epsilon, I know that one.
That was.
All right, so let's talk about this Packers game, man. The Packers, I feel like, you know, that tweet that Aaron Rodgers sent out with Devontae Adams earlier before the season, because you know that they were both in kind of contract talks, and they were both kind of upset with the front office. So they both, before they reported, they both posted the picture of the Last Dance documentary, basically saying that this is our last dance. And when you think back to some of those games, like the Cardinals game, where AJ Green doesn't turn around and then all of a sudden it's an interception and the game is over, but they were about to win the game. And there's been like Aaron Rodgers coming in with 32 seconds left. I mean, that's Tom Brady. I don't even know if Tom Brady could do that, but this year feels special for them. So I picked them early on to be the Super Bowl favorites. What, am I crazy?
No, it's not a bad pick, man, because I think honestly, the weird thing is that Aaron Rodgers being so open about this is why the Packers have thrived during it. The fact that he came out with that wild press conference before the year started where he just basically laid out what had happened with him in the front office, that was unheard of and maybe the wildest 12 minutes of a press conference I've ever seen from a player to just say, yeah, they pissed me off, basically. And it was like, dang, man, he does not care right now. But it made Devontae Adams be open about it. And what I like to do is because I played football for a long time, so I try to imagine myself in those situations. And if I'm sitting there knowing that I might get only one more year with one of, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, and I don't think that, but some do, and Packer fans do.
Oh yeah.
Then you're gonna play hard because you don't know if you're ever gonna get another chance to play with the guy of that caliber, or to even have a chance at a Super Bowl. And he gives you a chance at a Super Bowl every single year. So I think the players in an odd way have rallied around this, and it's become sort of a lightning rod for them to be able to say, hey, we got to make this happen now, or it may not happen ever again.
Lightning Rodgers?
Hey, there's the headline.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, man. Tyler, we can talk football all day, man. I'm so thankful that you came on the show, man, and you have an open invitation, my man. Real quick, I want to show you, and I want to ask you about this because Michael Strahan went to space, bro. He went to space.
Bezos, he did.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos. Look, I tell people all the time, man. Look, if I know the tickets cost like $450,000, but if they ever brought it down to $450, bro, I'm on the next Blue Origin. Yep. Would you go to space?
100%. Like my girl and me argue about this all the
It's
time.
only 11 minutes. I'll be back before you go to Walmart to come back.
Man, exactly. Like not only that, man, like I've said this is I'm an electrician too now. I've always said that if Elon wants someone to wire up his moon base, man, hit me up. I'll go to the moon for a few months, figure it out for you, bro.
Come back with an alien wife.
Well, my girl be mad about you. She just got home.
We are live on CoachellaValley.com. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, everybody for the support, and we appreciate you, man. Tyler, you're that guy, man. Tyler Cantu, Coachella Valley.
You're that guy, man.
Legend.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for inviting me. I've been wanting to do this for you for quite some time now.
My man. And just things come full circle, man. Like, and who knows, man? Who knows what it could turn out to be? But look, Coachella Valley this is the secondary logo for the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we're getting a hockey team, and I don't think the residents really grasp the concept of what's coming. Like football is the number one sport, all the way. Like football should be called America's pastime. Then basketball, then you probably rank baseball, and then hockey. But hockey live, bro, it is lit.
Well, and let me say this too. There's a very small contingency of actual youth hockey in the Valley that not a lot of people know about. And my best friend, the guy actually I was talking about, the guy who looks like Justin Tucker, him and my best friend, they both played hockey while we were in high school. So they did football and hockey, and they loved it, man. And they thrived there too. There's a traveling team. I mean, and it's a fun sport for kids to get into. And to be honest, if you want something where your kid can really build some confidence, because it's not like it's a super competitive thing out here. He's like, my guy, he'll admit now because he's in his 30s, he can look back. He was like 17 scoring on 14-year-olds, doing like 12 goals a game. And he was like, I'm the best. It was like, you're good, man. Just relax. But you know what? Doing a sport is fun. And if you want your kid to get into something different, hockey's great, man.
Absolutely.
I think it's in Cathedral City still.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. It's a small contingency in the Valley that needs to be looked at more for sure.
For sure, man. Hey, before we get out of here, I just want to play this clip because I just love this clip because Jameis Winston is a fool. Crab Legs Winston is a fool. But I just want to play this clip.
Overall shape to the way this played out, Jameis.
Well, I just think we were prepared. One thing my trainer, he told me, he said, what did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
It's the looking up to that thought bubble for me. He's like,
what
did he say?
Just freeze that, and then put the thought bubble. And there's the meme. You can put all kinds of different stuff in the thought bubble, right?
Heck yeah, man. Hey, I had so much fun with you today. Tyler, let them know where they can find you. And you're a stand-up comedian, too.
Yes, yeah, I'm doing stand-up, too. So, went from sports radio to stand-up. But if you guys want to see me...
You're great, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do some stuff in the desert right now. The only things I have planned are up in Northern California. But if you want to watch me, I do post clips. At my Instagram is at the Tyler Cantu. So you guys can go there and watch any clips that I post there. Or if you're in the Sacramento area, I'll be at the Brick in Nevada City on Monday at 8 p.m. And then for my birthday, which is New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, but on New Year's Eve, I'm gonna be going to a place called the Couch in Citrus Heights and be doing a show there. So
On your birthday?
Yeah, I just hit them up today. They just told me that I could get on the list for that, so I'm going to be doing shows there. But yeah, watch out for me making jokes.
Bro, Netflix, here we come.
Coming for it, baby.
For sure, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on the show, man. And for all y'all out there, we will be back tomorrow. And stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And remember, you're capable of doing anything, so go out and do it. All right, for Tyler Cantu, I am Barry on the second. We'll holler at you.